Hi, in this video we are going to determine if a password chosen by a user is valid or not. Now we have set a criteria here for checking if the password is valid or not. We have said that it has to be at least 4 characters and must not exceed 10 characters. So it has to start with 2 alphabets and must end in at least 2 digits. And the first digit included in the password cannot be 0. And then it has to contain at least 1 upper letter alphabet, and it cannot contain these certain characters. So what I'm actually going to do first, I'm going to get a password from the user. I'm going to do that in the main function. Now I want to keep asking the user for a password, for a valid password. I want to, if they keep entering wrong passwords, I want the program to keep asking them for another password. So I'm just going to use the while loop here. I'm going to say while the password is not valid, keep asking the user for another password. And then afterwards, when the user enters a valid password, we are just going to say that that was a valid password. So what we're going to have to do here is to define the isValid function. And I'm going to pass a parameter called n in here. So let's go through the criteria. We have said that, first of all, let's go through the length of it. It has said that it must be at least 4 characters and must not exceed 10 characters. So if the length of n is less than 4 or it exceeds 10, return false. The next thing that we can do easily is check for the characters, for the certain characters that we don't want to be in the password. So actually, let's create a not allowed variable. So it is this one. It is dot question mark and this one. So we're gonna say for the character in not allowed, for each of these characters, if that character is in the password, return false. Okay, so we have said that the password must contain at least must have at least 2 alphabets and also 2 digits. So let's check that. I'm going to create an empty array named alphabets and also an empty array called digits. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say for character in n, if the character is an alphabet, then add it to the alphabets array. And if the character is a digit, add it to the digits array. Okay. Now we have said again that the length of them must be at least 2 for both of them. So let's actually do it here. If the length of the, now that we have added all of the characters in the password to the alphabets and digits array, we can check it right here. If the length of the alphabets is less than 2, or the length of the digits is less than 2, return false. Now we have said also, for example, we have said the first digit cannot be 0, right? So this goes through, this goes numerically, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if the first element of the digits array is 0, return false. Right? And now we also have said that it must contain at least one upper letter alphabet. So we say that for the characters in the alphabets array, which contains all the alphabets within the password, if the character is an uppercase, now right now I have to assign 0 to a variable called the number of uppercases in the beginning is 0. And then if we reach an upper letter character, we are going to add to the num upper variable. And at the end of this, if num upper is still 0, well, it means that it had not found even one upper letter character, then return false. So we have checked all of these, and what we are left with here is we have to check that the first 2 characters are alphabets and the last 2 characters are digits. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say for I in range 2. Why am I picking 2? Well, because this here we go I0 and I1, and that is enough to check for the first 2 and also the last 2, as I will show. So for the first 2, as I said, it goes through numerically, right? When we went through for the character in n, when we did this. So we know that the first element in the alphabet, in the alphabets array, is not equal to the first element in the first character in the password. That means that the first character in the password is not an alphabet. And here, instead of writing 0, I'm just going to write I to check for also the second element in the alphabet and the second character in the password. Return false. Now we can do the same for the digits one. How we're going to do that is we are going to say that if the last element in the digits array, so the last element in the digits array is going to have length, the length of digits minus 1 index, right? But I'm not only checking for the 0, 1 here, I'm going to also check for I equals 1. So I'm going to do this. because in here, when I is 0, this will go to the last one, and then when I is 1, it will go to the one before the last one, right? So if this is not equal to, and for this part, we know that we can go n minus 1 means the last character in the n. So if I just put minus 1, this will check for the last one, but we're also checking for the one before the last one. So I'm again going to add this plus minus I, or just like this. So when I is 0, this will check for the last one. When I is 1, this will check for the index n minus 2. So the one before the last one, the character before the last one. And again, if these are not equal, that would mean that the last two characters in the password were not digits. So we have to return false. After checking all of this, I think we have checked all the criteria here. We can return true. And now I'm going to just call the main function. Okay, let's run it and see if we have written everything correctly. Alright, let's put YW PL91. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I have missed an I here, each digit. Let's check YWPOL91. It's a valid password. And then let's choose an invalid password. For example, let's put YUR32. We don't have an uppercase alphabet, right? So it turns. And then if I, for example, do 60PF32, because it started with digits. And then let's again do another one, PL43RT, because it ended with alphabets. And let's do GMNJ09. It's invalid because the first digit is 0. And again, let's choose another valid one and end this here. So again, we are going to say PNSA113. Valid password. That's it for the end of this video, and thank you very much for watching.